I got home after a 14-hour shift and found my wife's ex-husband drilling my wife. I stood in the doorway of my own living room, completely frozen. They were on our couch, the same dark blue sectional we'd spent 2 weekends picking out 3 years ago, arguing over fabric samples like it actually mattered. My wife's legs were wrapped around him, and they didn't even notice me at first. I could hear everything, the sounds, the way she said his name. I wanted to throw up. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, my wife turned her head and saw me standing there. She didn't scramble, she didn't scream, she just smiled, like genuinely smiled. "Oh, you're home early," she said casually, like I just walked in on her watching TV. Dustin, her ex-husband, pulled away and smirked at me. "Yeah, man," he said, while adjusting his shirt, "we've been meaning to talk to you about this." His voice was so calm, so matter-of-fact, like we were discussing weekend plans. That's when I heard footsteps behind me. My two stepdaughters, Amy and Sarah, walked in from the kitchen, both holding wine glasses. Red wine, I noticed, the expensive kind I'd bought for our anniversary that was still 2 months away. Amy, the older one at 19, looked at me with this expression of pity, mixed with annoyance. "Dad," she said, and I hated how she called me that. "In this moment, you need to accept the new reality. Uncle Dustin is moving in. He's been helping Mom out a lot, and honestly, he's twice the man you'll ever be." Sarah nodded in agreement. "We all talked about it," she added, like I was the outsider in my own family meeting. "It's better this way." I felt my chest tighten. My hands started shaking, but I kept my face completely blank. "How long?" I asked quietly. My voice came out steadier than I expected. "How long has this been going on?" My wife Brenda sat up and pulled a blanket over herself, finally showing some modesty. She shrugged like we were discussing what to have for dinner. "6 months," she said, "maybe longer. Dustin and I reconnected at Sarah's graduation party. We wanted to wait to tell you until you were ready to hear it. He's been helping with bills too since you're always at work." Dustin stretched out on my couch looking comfortable. "Your mortgage is brutal, man." He said, no judgment, but Brenda needed support. I nodded slowly, processing every word. Then I walked past all of them down the hallway to our bedroom. The bedroom where I'd slept alone most nights for the past year, while she claimed she needed space. I grabbed my phone from the nightstand and opened my banking app. See, I'd been suspicious for about 8 weeks. Those late-night texts where she'd flip her phone face down when I walked in. The new lingerie I found in her drawer that she'd never worn for me. The way she started going to the gym 5 times a week but never lost a pound. So 2 months ago, I'd quietly moved $47,000 from our joint savings account into one only I could access. Our entire life savings that I'd been building since before we even met. I also called my lawyer that same week, a guy named Albert who'd handled my first divorce years ago. We drafted papers, documented everything. I had him dig into our finances too. And that's when I found out about Brenda's little secret. $23,000 in credit card debt spread across 4 cards I never knew existed. Shopping sprees, spa days, expensive dinners, all while I worked doubles to keep us afloat. I walked back to the living room where all 4 of them were waiting. They looked at me expectantly like I was supposed to give some big speech. Instead, I pulled an envelope from my jacket pocket and handed it to Dustin. "Congratulations," I said, my voice flat. "You can have her and all the debt she's been hiding. $23,000 in credit cards I just found out about yesterday. The bills are in her name, but I'm sure she'll tell you you're supposed to help with those too." Brenda's face went completely white. "What are you talking about?" she stammered. I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshots. "Every purchase, every cash advance, every missed payment. Your credit score is in the toilet," I said calmly. "Good luck getting approved for anything." Then I turned to Amy and Sarah. "Your mother's boyfriend can pay for your college now," I said. "I'm done funding anything. The $500 a month I was putting into each of your accounts that ends today. Dustin seems generous, I'm sure he'll step up." Amy's confident expression cracked. "Dad, wait," she started, but I held up my hand. "I'm not your dad," I said quietly. "I'm the guy who married your mom and tried to give you a stable home, but you made your choice." I walked out, grabbed my keys from the hook by the door, and went straight to my truck. I drove to my brother's place 40 minutes away and didn't look back. My phone started blowing up around midnight. 47 text messages, 13 missed calls, 2 voicemails. Every single one begging me to come back. Brenda crying saying it was a mistake. Amy apologizing saying they didn't mean it. Even Dustin sent one message saying we should talk man to man. I blocked every number, changed my locks the next day, filed the divorce papers that Friday. They can have each other.